Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our horizontal planners for the next week in March. And I've got these washi tapes here ready to go, as well as these markers I may use, and some of these sticker books which I'll pull from. So this is the second week of the March Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme is Shop Your Stash. So if you'd like to participate, go ahead and post your spreads up on Instagram using the hashtag PlannableMarch2022. We'd love to see what you can come up with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay down some wax paper to get things started. As you can see, I pulled a lot of sticker books. I pretty much pulled anything that I thought might have something I could use. I won't be using everything, but I just pulled them in case I needed some extra fill and just have everything at my disposal. So you'll see at the end which books I actually end up using, and I will put those in the description below. To start off, I'm going to start with this colorful box sticker book and pull out some black boxes I've had in my stash for a while. These guys I haven't really used. They're the long boxes, but I really need them to be a little bit shorter for the application. I'm going to convert them into shopping bags, which you'll see. So the super tall boxes really weren't working. Needed it to look more like a bag that you would get with handles, so I'm just going to cut them down and layer them so it has more of a seamless box look, and I get some use out of those long boxes, which I usually find hard to use, frankly, on my horizontal. And since I don't have very many of the black boxes, I am using those long boxes there, but I do have one square black box left over, which I'll use as well as a shopping bag. So just trying to get some placement maybe on the spread and how I want it to look. I was thinking to put it all on the bottom at first, but I don't think that's going to work functionally for me. It's just not going to give me the room I need for actually using the spread. So we're going to scatter them around and try to make little clusters of decor around the spread. So now I'm in my colorful boxes, like the more floral, painterly style one, and I am grabbing some quotes I came across from there to add some pizzazz to the spread. I'm cutting them out a bit. Anything that's a little bit superfluous that, kind of clutters up the quote, I'm cutting out. So I just want the main text and the color behind it. Even this create more, I think I'm going to end up trimming off the excess blue at some point. Just want it to be clean, but have a little punch of color in the background as a shadow on those. So next I am going to try and play with the washi tapes I pulled. I have a few washi tapes from Daiso and a few from the Happy Planner that I may use. This one here with the doodles on top of the white is from Daiso, as well as this kind of muddled green, purple, blue one that I have at the bottom. And I cut down the doodle washi tape just because it was a little bit too thick, I thought, for the application I wanted to use it in. And finally, I added some stripes from a Happy Planner washi I had in my stash as well. So I'm just going to layer those up and then do a few more options spread around the spread. Trying some of the other washi that I had pulled, but I think these three are going to be the combination I'm going to stick with. I really like that there's a black element in the striped washi to kind of tie in the black, and then I like the doodles, which you'll see because that'll tie in with the rest of the decor that I'll be pulling soon. So I've made two clusters there, Just kind of layering them up, and I'm going to make one more, basically tying them to the quotes so they feel more robust, both the quotes and the washi together, like it's one piece. Each one of the quotes will have a little washi grouping with it. And again, it's just more about kind of creating clusters of things versus spreading things out around the spread, hoping that that makes the spread feel a little more cohesive. And I decided to move this guy up a little bit and tie it directly with this box here. Again, more for clustering and also for placement for the next part here, which is the icons. So I was just thinking it would be fun having the bags kind of either spewing out or spilling in a bunch of icons in different colors related to creative things. I got this little booklet from the Happy Planner on clearance not too long ago. I don't remember if I got this one in my Hobby Lobby haul or not. I think I did. And I just pulled it because I thought, you know, maybe one day I'd figure out a way to use these icons somehow, and I think today's going to be the day. So I'm just picking random things, trying to mix up the colors and the sizes and elements of each little cluster so that they look random but cute and all part of the same thing. Again, just that whole clustering aspect. And this is just a little 5 or 6 page booklet with different icons, so I'm using it primarily. A lot of the other books I pulled also have icons, but each one's a little different. Like some are outlined in black, or some are solid with, you know, more color to them. These ones here tend to be more colorful but outlined icons. So I pulled them all in case they could mix well together, but I really wasn't sure how all was going to work combining the different books. So that's why I pulled them, but we'll see if I actually need all of those books. So now I'm in the Happy Goal sticker book I have, and it has some icons, as you can see there. But the feel and the color scheme is a little different, so I don't think I'll be using that book. I also pulled a Planner Babe book that had a few icons, and again, not really seeing anything I thought I could use. Same with this one here. I have a mini and a regular size version. But then I saw maybe a few items that I could pull in here, so I'll try adding those in and see how I like that. Maybe this tiny little planner, but I felt like those just didn't really go as well as I thought they would. I've also got my Miss Maker accessory book out that, again, the styling really just did not match. And now I'm in the Super Mom sticker book. So definitely shopping my stash for this one, you guys. All of my older books that have been neglected, I pulled out anything that I thought I might be able to use. And it looks like I'll be able to grab at least a few from this Super Mom sticker book. So pull those in. They have the same kind of feel as far as being like outlined icons. They just don't have any variation of color. So I'm just going to pull a few, but not too many, so it's not overly black in icons. And then this guy, this little Planner Babe accessory pack, was part of a little bit larger pack that had cardstock inserts and some sticky notes, and then it had this little mini booklet of stickers on the top of it. So I ended up like removing all of the bottom parts, the cardstock and the sticky notes, and just made little booklets out of the ones that I had like this. So I have 3 that are just cut down like this. And this one is the Planner, oh, I'm sorry, it's the Planner Girl sticker accessory book. So I did find a few things to pull out of that one. I've got 3 clipboard style colorful boxes there to use for focus boxes, which they were just sitting there and don't know if there would be ever another use for those, so I pulled those in. And then I also found a few icons that were left over in that book that I thought I could pull in. The little eyeglasses are my favorites from all of the Happy Planner. I love those little eyeglasses, and then the mini coffee cups from the older books. I don't know why, but those two just bring me joy. So I'm going to pull in the eyeglasses here since they're a good fit for the color scheme and the layout, and see what we can come up with. So I've layered in things. There's not really a good defined structure as far as, placement of things. Everything's got a semi-triangular relationship, but for the most part I'm thinking more about having the cuteness on the spread but keeping things functional. So that was really what I was working around. And now I'm going to start dropping in some of these items. I've already dropped in the bottom corner there. And we will drop in these soon-to-be shopping bag boxes here. And I decided to layer them up just for a little bit of variation, and I'm using my Tombow fine liner to make the handles. And I didn't do a good job on that. I thought I would make it look like it was doubled up, but then I didn't really just follow through with that. So I'll go back and fix that in a minute. I'm going to drop in all of the icons I had placed, just kind of mimicking the placement I had on the wax paper. And then we'll move over the top part here as well. Again, just trying to keep things nice and aligned, creating these clusters. So the great thing about these shopping bags and clipboards is that those are functional areas, even though they're part of the decor. So I'm thinking about that as I'm building this out and keeping in mind that I can use those to put in my focuses for the day, which is really nice. Brings some style and some interest to the spread, but is also functional space. And now I'm dropping in some confetti dots using again that Tombow dual tip marker. And I'm starting with a lot kind of centered down at the bottom and spreading them out as the icons spread out of the bags. Gives a little bit of like a pop of surprise. Very similar to the look that I had pulled for the Plannable Challenge imagery to give you guys ideas on how you could do this spread. I tend to do that when I get something in my mind, and then that's what I start to focus on. So when I pick the imagery for the Plannable Challenge, a lot of times that's how my spreads end up in the end, because I've got that in mind. I went back and forth on this one a lot when I was pulling the stickers and trying to think of how I would make this work. This one sat on my desk a bit. I didn't actually start it, but I like to have an idea of what I want to do before I start filming. And this one was just really tough, trying to figure out how this might all play nice together. But in the end, I think when I started to film, I was ready to move forward with the ideas I had, and the shopping bag kind of came to me overnight. So I think that worked well. And then just moving over the last of the items now. Making some small adjustments so they look a little bit more random. And then I will drop in those confetti dots like I mentioned before, getting denser as I close in on the bag. Try not to overdo it. It's a delicate balance, so if you're doing this for the first time, you might want to pencil it in first and see how you like it before you commit. I've done this a couple of times now, so I'm a little more comfortable with it, but I like to pencil in things a lot of times when I'm not sure, and that way if it doesn't look like it's gonna be how I want it, I have the ability to erase and make adjustments. So now I'm pulling in the Zig clear dot markers, which are really nice markers. They've got a rounded tip, so they make really great circles, and I am using those to add some more pops of color within the groupings. The only downside about these markers is that they do tend to bleed, especially if you push too hard, or the darker colors in particular. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if they've come out with a better ink solution for some of the newer markers in this style, but I really like the idea of these markers, but I'm always trying to give it a light touch since they do have a tendency to bleed through the page. And I use some pretty thick paper for my printouts. Even the Happy Planner paper and stuff, that one's actually slightly thinner than the paper I use, so just keep that in mind if you're using a store-bought planner. And at first I was only going to use 3 of the colors, but I decided to pull in all the colors I had and added just a little bit of extra oomph to each of those little clusters of shopping bag icons. I'm going to use those same markers to create my checklists for the week, just checking to see if it was bleeding through. And once I'm done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment as well if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!